Honestly, I do not know. I would guess it's a natural virus, but I am not a chemist and I have never looked at the virus through a microscope. So I do not know, but I would guess it's a natural virus. But of course, some people would disagree with that. What do you think? Is it natural or man-made, Sarah?
I think it's probably natural, but I would not be surprised if it was
Excuse
man-made.
me, I would ask you to introduce yourself before speaking because not all of us are acquainted with each other. For example, Galia still doesn't know you. Please name your names.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sarah Pennington.
And I'm Chad Pennington. And we live in Kursk in Russia, and we've lived here about 3 years.
Oh, my daughter! I greet my daughter, my wonderful daughter. I'm happy that she has joined us.
Nice
I
to
live
meet
in
you.
Звенигород.
This is not far from Moscow, about 200 kilometers away, right?
40 kilometers. And Riga Riga Street.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
And my question to both of you, you said, Chet, you've said that you believe the coronavirus is a natural thing. If it is so, why didn't hear the mankind about it before the January of this year?
That's a great question. The little that I have read about the virus, there have been other coronaviruses before this one. So I know every year we get new flu viruses. There's different bacteria, different viruses that make people sick every year. So I think maybe this is a new virus that changed or it adapted from one of the earlier viruses.
Well,
But
thank you.
I am not an expert.
We all are not experts. We just discussing, have any opinions, arguments, etc. It's very interesting to exchange it, right?
Yes, there is a good movie in English called Conspiracy Theory. Have you seen this movie?
Not yet, but I heard different versions of conspiracy theory.
Yes, it's a good movie. I recommend it.
With
in English or in Russian?
It's in English.
I would be thankful for the URL if you have it, if you can share. It would be great.
Yeah, I don't have a link, but I think you can Google it.
Yes,
I sent it in the chat. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, Dmitry, what do you think about the origin or about the nature of the coronavirus? Please share your opinion with us.
Last time I keep sure that its disasters came from artificial beginning because if this coronavirus was pretty natural, that I think it's appeared a long time ago. Why coronavirus appeared today, in 2019, in China. Yes, if keep admission about that coronavirus transferred from bite or from another animal to people. Why? Because China guys very like to eat yes, any exotic food. Why it's wasn't sometimes ago, you know, long time ago, 20 or 30 years ago. Why today? But it's a connection with lab what located in Wuhan, my opinion. Uh, I I have agreement with Donald Trump, American president, who declared and announced that really coronavirus came and spreading all of the world from China. It's really deal what did China, what has done China. Scientists, maybe government help them. Okay, okay,
Maybe.
it's my opinion. Next one.
What do you
Sergey?
think, Sergey? What is your opinion? Is it man-made or natural virus?
I think he have problem with connection. Yes, yes, we miss him. Okay, who is here? Two. Lisa,
Hi,
Alexandra.
Dima.
Yes, hello,
Hi.
hello. Hello, Alexandra.
This is Alexandra. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, I'm not on video now.
Okay.
I was not actually prepared. I just got the link. Sorry. So what we are discussing virus, right?
Yes, we discuss about original or artificial, yes?
Origin.
Yes.
The origin of virus, if it is created or it is natural.
Yes, yes, yes. Who create?
Yeah, there are many opinions. I have already heard so many. So I actually don't know. So it depends. It could be that it was created. It could be that it comes from the bat or the bats, or I don't know. But as we see it, it affects differently in various countries. Today I have spoken to my husband, and we discussed Sweden. You know that in Sweden there are no quarantine, and they live normal life. They didn't restrict any activities, and they didn't close cafes and restaurants and other public places. But in fact, it affected totally similar in a negative way. I mean, death rate is quite low. It's 3 times lower than in Belgium, where they are on very strict quarantine. So it's difficult to judge whether it was created or it is natural. Who knows? Yeah, maybe it's a matter of future investigations. Maybe we should just try to follow the rules and try to be careful and keep our family safe. So only God knows who created it, how it was done. The only thing, it is quite dangerous in some countries. Like in Italy, it was really a disaster. Same in the United States. In Russia, it's less. The death rate is lower, so there are not so many people dead. We also spoken today. We discussed that it could be due to cultural habits as well. For example, in European countries like in Italy, in Belgium, people greet each other very close and warm. For example, they used to kiss 3 times in the cheeks. Yeah, and it's normal. Yeah. Also, people like to interact a lot. They meet in the cafes. They they like biking with the big groups and etc. And for example, in Sweden, people are much more distant. Maybe this is the reason why they are not really suffering so severe from this virus. So this is my opinion, and this is just what I know about this.
Okay, thank you. Sergey, join again to us. Yes, Sergey, already I am and Alexandra in chat sharing our opinion about coronavirus. We have another participants, Lisa, Danara. Yes, you can ask them. Do you listen me, Sergey?
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry. I had some problem with the connection.
Yes, when I realized that. Okay.
So, whose turn is to answer this question?
What?
Can you hear me? Whose turn is to answer this question, or do you discuss some other question now? My question was, what do you think of the origin of the coronavirus? Has everyone shared his or her opinion yet, or not?
We have not
So-
heard from Lisa, Danara, or Maria. I don't think they have shared yet.
They haven't shared yet. Lisa, Danara, and Maria. Okay. Lisa, can you hear me? Danara? Danara, can you hear us? Please switch on the microphone, because if you are talking something, yes, please. Can you share your opinion with us? What do you think of the origin of the coronavirus? Is it natural or artificial, and why?
Hello everyone. Yes, and I don't know, of course, and I agree with Dmitry, and I think also, yes, my opinion is also, and I think it's I don't know, but I think we should discuss another things because it's coronavirus. Yes, it's important, but we can only guess. We don't know, and it's not useful for us for this situation. It's my opinion, and I can say that there will be many consequences for people, for countries, for economics, finance, and yes, and I think we have to say to live and to live because we have to live with joy, with I don't know how to say in English. Yes, and I think it's not important question. It's not important for us, but we have to live with this situation, and everything depends on us. Regarding our attitude, and so we should think about another questions, another things, and more important for me, I can say.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You think that this thing is not so important to discuss it, right?
Yes, for our audience.
Okay. Maria, has Maria already talked? No? Maria, can you share with us? What do you think? Can you hear us? Okay, Lisa, Alexandra already or not?
Already, yes, yes, yes.
Already.
She spoke very good.
And Galia, is she still here? Is there somebody else who would like to share this question, concerning this question? No? Then the second question is, are there infected people among your acquaintances, relatives, or friends? Are there infected people among your relatives, friends, acquaintances, etc.? This is the second question.
Do you want to go?
Yes, please.
Do you want to share?
I don't have any friends who are infected, but we have people who know other people who are infected. I have one friend in America, and she already knows 2 people who died in my city.
Wow.
From corona. I know people are worried about it. Like, I know one woman who has a family in a nursing home, a home for old people. They live there. Doctors care for them 100% of the time. And they're worried about the old people because like 7 doctors are sick now.
How big is your city?
In America, it's about the same size as Kursk, about 450,000, 500,000 people.
500,000. Thank you.
Yeah.
Check. And what do you think? And what about you?
Yeah, the same as Sarah. Thank God no one in our family is sick from corona, and we don't have any close friends or close acquaintances, just the ones that Sarah told about. Our friend in America told us. I know in the United States, there's more sick people in New York City, for example, than there are in other cities and in other states. And we don't have any family, and we don't really have any friends that live in New York City. Most of our family lives in Missouri. So,
thank you. Oh,
yeah.
my wife. Can we greet my wife? Has just come, joined us.
Oh, Sergey,
Where is my daughter?
Greetings.
Can you hear us? Ты нас слышишь?
Да, я хорошо вас слышу.
Where is my daughter? Где дочка моя?
Дочка!
Не слышно.
She switched the microphone.
Yes, okay. Thank you. And please, Dmitry, what about you?
Yes.
Do you know somebody?
Yes, I have this sadness case among my pretty close friends. One family, husband and wife, they are doctors, and they have worked in a hospital. Yes, they very try to protect themselves. They have face mask and another protection supplies, but they catch coronavirus. And the first was husband. His name Andrew. Yes. First of all, in the beginning, he felt some high temperature.
High temperature.
Yes, temperature. Yes, and some weak feeling, senses. And after that, he understood that he was contracted by coronavirus. They get test. Yes, and the tests show that they really have coronavirus. He infected to wife and his son, 12 years old. But praise the God, coronavirus doesn't very
Doesn't harm there.
influent,
much.
influent addict on them. Their health today quite good. Yes, they feel good today.
And where do they live?
What?
Where do they live? In Russia?
Yes,
in what
they
city?
live in Moscow. They live in Moscow.
Moscow.
Nearby my home, my apartment. In my
Wow.
Yes, we live in the same district.
Do you keep in touch?
Yes, keep in touch. I try 2 or 3 times in 1 week. You know, I call to them and they call to me. Feedback. Yes. I very care about their health.
Thank you. Dinara, and what about you?
Regarding me, my family, my friends, they feel good. They feel good, well, and they didn't sick. And thank you for God. Yes, and yes, and we have to be only to be careful to keep the rules now, and we have to wear mask and to clean our face, our arms, and be careful. So I think it's we should be.
Thank you. And Maria? Can you hear us? Alexandra?
Yeah,
Can you,
I'm here.
You
Yeah.
can share, please.
Yeah, I can share, Sergey. Unfortunately, a few days ago, I got to know that a woman, I was her client, so she was making manicure and pedicure. And during this isolation, during this quarantine, she was still working. So there were some clients who came to her to make this manicure and pedicure. So she was still rendering these services. And unfortunately, she's got coronavirus. So she commented that they still tried to protect themselves with masks, but as we all know, masks, they don't help much when it is, especially when it is in a closed space. There is no proper ventilation. So she unfortunately got this virus, and now she's suffering heavily. She has a very high fever, and she was not taken to the hospital, so she has to cure herself how she can. They also made a test for her daughter. She's okay still, so it was not confirmed. But Tatiana, her name is Tatiana, she lives not far from me. She's very, very sick. So I'm also very concerned about her condition, and it's quite a dangerous situation, I find. Also, her health is not really, her immune system is not really strong because she's not moving much, she's not sporty, and I think that also causes few problems on top to this. Another example was a wife of my colleague. They live in Belgium, so the moment the corona started there, he posted in few days that my wife got corona because she's a nurse in the hospital. So as we know, all nurses and doctors are they have very high risk of having this. So she got it immediately. It was confirmed by test. I think quite quick, in a week. But I hope she's okay. I know that many people are quite quick recovering, especially when they are young. So just 2 people, I find it's it's a pity, but that proves that we have to stay home still. We have to be careful. We don't have to run to get some beauty service and hoping that mask will help and will keep us safe. So I find that we have to be really conscious about this situation.
Thank you for sharing with us, and we can wish the soonest recovery and the best health to both of them. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is somebody else who would like to share with us? Lisa or Alexandra?
Alexandra already.
Alexandra just did.
Just did. Excuse me. Nobody else. So let's go to the third question. Do you keep the mandatory lockdown regulations?
We are trying as much as possible to follow the regulations. Usually Sarah will go to the grocery store or I will go to the grocery store, but we leave our children at home because
they touch everything.
Yeah.
And they touch each other, and then they touch their
They are still
faces.
children.
Yeah.
Children are children.
And we are very, very thankful. Right before coronavirus happened, we got a dog. We got a puppy. And one of the laws says that you can walk your dog around your apartment or around your home. So we have been taking our dog for walks. We try once a day or once every other day to take her out for a walk and to get our kids out. And we've only seen, I think, 2 friends in the last
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Just this week, we saw 2 friends.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday and the day before. And before that, we haven't really seen any of our friends face to face.
But we only met with them because they stayed home for 6 weeks. They even do all their food on dostavka. They don't go to get anything. So they stayed home for 6 weeks. We stayed home for 6 weeks. And we decided yesterday, we're healthy. Let's have tea together. So we tried not to break the rules.
You are doing your best, right?
Until yesterday.
Thank you, Dmitry. What about you? Be honest.
I should recognize that I have violated order to stay at home as possible. I can because to be at home long time. How much? During 1 month, 30 days with your family. We have in my apartment 2 rooms. I have 3 children, and third child, my wife. We didn't have pets, but my children like my cat and dogs. Yes, and I really realized that they need to be a little bit outside. They need to some sport, hiking, strolling, jogging. Yes, and in dark time, maybe to evening, among 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, we get outside so that police wouldn't catch us, and because I don't want to be penalized by money. And I find out empty place where is people with pets take walking, and I walking with my children. That's why I call them my pets. Yes, and we hung out 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Yes, yes, very attentively observe, surround us, police car, you know, something that like that. It was. I don't want. I couldn't say it was every day, but day through day, you know, we have this adventure. But right now, I locate in home of my mother, of my parents, on the North Caucasus. Yes, I escaped from Moscow, and I'm very happy of that.
Mhm.
I have opportunity hiking, strolling, to being outside, and policemen don't catch me. I don't afraid of that. I am free. I have any independent. It's my lockdown.
But hopefully he will return us soon.
I return. Yes, I have problem.
Maybe the police were listening, and now they know where he is. They are.
Okay. Okay. I finished.
I can work every day when I want to now, and also while we are discussing, I'm here now, and I can call my people who employees who is looking for a new job. Yes, they call me, and I send them for our manager. Yes, and it's I can say that it's very hard time. It's as I say, I've done many things. I don't spend a lot of time for my for the time for getting to my job, because it takes more than 1 hour. Yes, and so it's there are many shops near, and yeah, and there is also a small park, and this region is very cozy, and it's not many people, and it's good, and I hope that in June we can work and we can meet with my colleagues and friends. So now I live, and I enjoy my every day.
Virtually, right? Thank you. Thank you. Alexandra?
Yes, Sergey. Now, I should say that we are doing our best not to violate the regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, we have started actually our isolation 1 week before it officially was announced. So the kids already don't attend school from 23rd of March. Because we were speaking with my husband, we decided that it will be more more wise, yeah, to keep kids home, just to prevent any infection. So we were trying, since that time we were trying to stay home. We are not going outside. Yeah, there were a few times when we walk in the park. It is quite tempting because we live right next to the park.
Of course
So
it is.
I also used to jogging in the morning. So I tried to do this a few times, but I was warned by security. So it's crazy, but in our park there are a few people, security guards, who are working and controlling that people not really go outside, not really run or walk there. The park is really nice, so it's quite difficult not to walk in it. And of course now it's a nice weather, and people like to go outside and just to breathe fresh air. It's not easy to sit in an apartment. But my kids they do bear it quite well, so they keep themselves busy all the time. And well, it's good. We try to open the windows, we try to breathe fresh air, but we're missing physical activity, so we are just trying to do a lot of things like yoga or just normal exercises. My younger daughter is dancing regularly, but of course this is quite a difficult thing to stay inside. But I think this is justified. In any case, we stay better home. We try to not to interact with other people. And the only bad thing we did is we meet regularly with my younger sister Masha, because she's living in the next building. But also we agreed that they also don't interact much with others. So we hope that this is safe, still safe.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, but I have just noticed that I myself haven't shared yet anything with you. That's why before going to the fourth point of our agenda, I'd like to share myself. So the first question, what do you think of the origin of the coronavirus? Of course, I don't know as well, because I'm not a specialist, but I guess that the nature or the origin of the coronavirus wouldn't be natural. This is my idea is that there are a lot of different secret labs over all the world. They, of course, they do their best to know as well as so much as possible about the viruses. And maybe they make new viruses for any case, for some reasons. Maybe no, there are a lot of reasons could be. This is my suggestion, or I guess that the origin of the virus isn't natural. The next question is, are there infected people among your appearances, relatives, no, among my relatives or my drugstore. And only 2 days ago, it was able to purchase some masks there. Only 2 days ago. Every time, almost every day, I asked, are there any masks in the drugstore? No masks were available, unfortunately. Now there are. So, thank you. The fourth question, how long do you think the pandemic will rage in the world? Of course, we don't know, but let's try our intuition. What do you think?
I hope things will be better maybe by July or August. I read that Germany is trying to open their country up again, and people are trying to go to work in Germany and in the United States, in the state of Texas. So it will be interesting to see what happens when these places start going back to work. If there are so many sick people that the governments tell everyone to go home, or if they decide there will be sick people no matter what we do, so everyone must go to work. But I hope maybe by July or August, things will be better.
Thank you. We will see later. We can check how right it will be, how correctly we can pronounce.
Yeah.
We should place a bet and gamble some money and see who wins.
Yes, good idea. What do you think?
I think for different parts of the world, maybe it will be different. Like Europe may be recovering now, but we still have a lot of sickness in America. And I'm hoping things will recover in Russia, but I hear some Russian doctors have said, like, mentally, they are still preparing for the worst. I've heard some people say they don't think it's really hit Russia very hard yet. But selfishly, I want to go to America and see my family. So I'm also hoping for July. I hope the borders will open, but I think there will be a lot of changes after the virus. I think the government has taken more control. I think, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what kind of effects are still in place or still affecting us when the virus is done. I hope July or August.
We will hope you are right.
I hope.
Thank you. Dmitry, what do you think about how soon?
I think exactly talking about Russian situation, as minimum to the end of this year. To the end of this year, yes, because we, unless reach plateau of rising of coronavirus spreading, yeah,
or apex, yeah.
Yes, yes, and we wait for this plateau, but after plateau have to dropping toll of coronavirus. Yes, and I don't keep sure, how it will done, but to have information, current information, what happened today, quantity infected, statistics. I think it will be so far. It will be in our future. The end of this year, and I try to preparing for this time. Yes, but different situation, of course, what we have in regions of Russia and in Moscow, because
Mhm.
very tough, very difficult situation in Moscow. Yes, and I even have my opinion. Next education, next learning, learning my children in high school will be online.
Mhm.
What we have today, yes, in autumn, September, yes, next September should to start it, but I think it will be online study. It's
Online
my opinion.
education.
Yes, it's my opinion.
Mhm. Mhm.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you, Danara.
I think the situation will be better only in cold time. In cold time, I don't know, I'm not sure, yes, of course. And I think we, in our country, um, uh, we will leave, of course, and but now um, um, we will work also, we'll study, but I think the real picture of this situation is not good. And yes, and it's only in, I think, at the end of this year, it can be better, and I hope that this virus will not progressive, because it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
It can be, yes, be various version, and yes, it can, we don't know, but it may be very difficult to protect and to protect and to live with this virus. And I don't know, but I hope that situation, of course, will be better in these months, and we can work and we can live normal life.
Okay. Thank you. Alexandra, what do you think?
I think that not in Russia. Yeah, now it's growing still. So since now it's still growing, then at least a month we will stay in the same regime. So we have to stay and try to be, try to stay home. I'm quite concerned about the situation with public transport in Russia, because yesterday I saw a post, one of my friends posted a photo from metro. So the trains are now much rare, and huge amount of people getting in the carriages, and they're standing very close to each other. Also quite concerned that they were not all passengers with masks, so thus they are not protected from the infection.
Yes, it's so.
In
it's
case
dangerous.
somebody is infected, then they must wear mask, and I don't know how it should be organized in the future, but I'm quite concerned. This is a risky area. I heard that in Europe, for example, they really try to keep distance when people using trains, and of course majority travel by car. But in Moscow, public transport is quite, I think, the basic means of transport in Moscow, especially. So it's quite a risky area. To my own predictions, I think that we can start traveling. I mean, traveling abroad not earlier than August, and we have to stay home at least May, June. So positive prediction will be that we may come back to more or less normal life in July. Well, this is my expectation in case that we have reached the top of pandemia, and the statistics will slowly slow down and will be less than now. At the moment now, it's quite sad statistics. It's not really positive.
Thank you. What about me? I'm tended to agree with Dmitry. I think that the situation is for a long time. It will not finish soon. This is my opinion. I don't know why. Of course, I would like to believe different way, but now it is so. And the next very interesting question. The scientists of many countries are working, and I believe they are working hard at the creation of a coronavirus vaccine, right? Do they? But some people are sure that so-called the world government, some people believe there is already a world government, is going to implant secretly a chip into everyone to enslave the whole mankind. What do you think about such theories? They are spread even in the in different shifts of the of our society. What do you think?
I have heard this theory since 1990. When I was a child, many people were talking about microchips being put into people. And I think we already put microchips in dogs and cats. It's very common in the United States. People will have like a special chip put in their dog or their cat for identification or to help them find it if it gets lost or stolen. But yeah, I definitely do not like the idea of a microchip being put into people. We don't really like vaccines. When we wanted to come to Russia, I think I had to get some vaccines, but I always get the fewest amount possible, like the bare minimum that is required to do something. So our view on vaccines is we avoid them unless it's a mandate, unless it's something we must do to work or to, go to school, like for our children. But I believe that, of course, in the future, things will go bad, whether there's a microchip or not. I believe the Bible says many things will happen in the future. And I think it's important for people to know God and to know what will happen to them after they die. So what do you think?
Chuck, are you acquainted with the revelations of Aaron Russo? Did you watch such a video? Have you watched it?
I don't think so.
Oh, I believe it will be interesting for you to watch. Maybe I'll find an English version and send to you. It's really interesting to hear. Thank you. And what do you think? What's your opinion?
Me?
Yes, you.
I agree with Chad, of course. I think I think it's inevitable, which means like it will happen. I
Mhm.
know that it will happen in the future. It's
Mhm.
like a direction, and I think slowly we are going in that direction. I know it's something we can expect. I don't know if I will see it in my lifetime.
Mhm.
But I'm living in Russia, and if somebody told me that in order to fly back to America to see my family, if they told me I need to have a vaccine or a chip, I don't know. I would really have to pray about it. I would say, okay, give me the vaccine, give me the chip. I need to see my family. Just being honest. So, of course, if it was like affecting my faith or affecting my religious freedom, well, of course, then it's a different discussion. It's a different choice, and it's a hard choice. But I think our governments around the world are always looking for an opportunity to gain control. So I'm not surprised at all if the result of this pandemic is that people have less control and less freedom in some way. I'm expecting it. So.
Thank you. There is a huge amount of, first of all, Orthodox Christians. They affirm that the scientists invented a new version of the microchip, a very small, a very micro, a very small thing which can be implanted with the vaccine together. And they need to implant this thing into every body to control the people, to make them like alive robots or something like that, to control them online through microwaves. But a lot of Orthodox Christians believe that, and they prepare themselves for terrible times. That's so. That's why it's a really interesting questions. Thank you for sharing with us. So, Dmitry, what do you think?
Okay, only 4 participants remain right now.
Special revelation.
I think another just